Hello guys, Sujara speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 272. And today we read you Back to the Future Funko Pop Edition, little golden book release. So let's read it now, shall we? See what we got for us. Back to the Future Funko Pop Edition, little golden book release. This was written by Ari Cobden, illustrated by Meg Dawn. Published by Golden Book New York release. Copyright 2023 by Universal Studios LLC and Able Entertainment Incorporated. All rights reserved. Illustrations copyrighted by 2023 by Funko Inc. LLC. Based on these Funko Pops. So there you go on that. So that was since I love collecting Funko Pops, ever since 2019, this helped me a lot for Kimmy and give him the next level, getting to collect Funko Pops. The final days, my struggle days. So there you go on that. Anyway. Now, this happens in the second edition of this story. But anyway, Marty McFly was a cool teenager. He lived in a pleasant town called Hill Valley in the year 1985. His parents were George and Lorraine McFly. Marty went everywhere in a skateboard, okay? He was soon to find a new way to travel. Yeah, that'd be good enough, so very good on that, even though Hill Valley is a good example of one of these. So, Save the Clock Tower is one of the examples of that. Next page. Anyway. Marty's best friend was an inventor named Doc Brown. One day, Doc showed Marty his latest invention. It was a time machine made for a car. Wow. The car looked very futuristic, I pronounce it. Doc explained, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? I don't know. It depends on how much time you're going to do this in any way. So there you go on that, even though it's a scheduled time frame. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, Marty was very excited. He jumped into the time machine and accidentally turned to time circuits. Great Scott, Doc shouted. Before Marty knew it, he had traveled back in the time. Marty was now 4 years in the past. He was in 1955. Why you? This has got to be a dream, he said. This time machine, has landed into a barn. The farmer who owned it was not happy, excuse me. Now, this is an example right there. So, there you go on that, even though it was a bad decision to make, so, there you go. It just so works on the right side of the page, so, there you go. Next page. Anyway. Oh no. The time machine was broken. Mark was stuck in 1955. And he knew that Mark Brown was a young scientist back then. So he went to the doctor's lab. So you're my only hope. Doc, you're my only hope. Marty said. Young Doc went about how to help Marty get back home. Wow. And in the meantime, Marty had to find a way to fit in with the other kids in the past. Wow, exactly. You have to at least do something about this. Even though Doc and Marty are good pals. Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. You know, that's me, of course. Next page. Anyway. Soon Marty met a teenage boy. I'm George, the boy said. George McFly. Marty broke out in a cold sweat. Jesus. He couldn't believe it. George was his dad. Now, this Marty McFly guy is sweating bullets. I never seen a Funko Pop having sweating bullets before in my life. Marty also met a girl named Lorraine. She was Marty's mom. Marty didn't tell them that he was their son from the future. They wouldn't believe him. Yeah. Some of that I recognize from Disney Channel these days back then. I recorded Disney Channel most recently, and, I felt like it, so it was there. So, there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, Bill wasn't a town bully. Bill was town bully. Wow. What are you looking at? He shouted at Maury. Big boy chasing Maury, but Mario got away. Slacker. Maury's ex caught Lorraine's eyes, and she forgot all about George. Maury had to do something. He needed her to fall in love with George. Yeah. Otherwise, Maury wouldn't exist in the future. Exactly. You have to at least do something about this. That's me, of course. Even though it's a great book. And in the past, I've read Back in the Future, the huge book edition. So now I'm reading this book. So there you go on that. There's other editions of Back in the Future, which I'll get to that in a little bit. Next page. Anyway. Maury has an idea. He told George to ask Lorraine to the school dance. I'm George McFly. George told Lorraine, I'm your destiny. I'm your destiny. Your destiny. Wow. George and Lorraine danced. They, were very like each other. Maury was happy. His parents would get married. I would really love that, even though it makes sense to anybody. So there you go on that. Even though it's Doc and Maury's idea to get their parents married, Just want to make sure if Biff's going to be doing this in any way. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, Maury decided to play some rock music from this time on the guitar. But it was too loud for the 1955 teenagers. Even though it's too much, Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, Maury said with a shrug. But your kids are gonna love it. Jesus. Maury has had other things on his mind. Jesus. Anyway. He had to figure out how to get back in his own time. I have to agree 100%, even though it's a big blast for heavy metal fans like me. Like how much you're gonna get to the metal fan in the 1950s, but now it's into the 1960s to the present. That's how it works. 60s to the present is metal time, but this, seriously, you just have to not do this in any way. Next page. Anyway. Doc Brown explained that only a bolt of lightning could generate enough electricity, and power the time machine. Fortunately, Marty knew how from Hill Valley history that lightning would struck the town's clock tower that very night. So Doc made a plan. He attached a cable to the clock tower. They attached a metal hook to the time machine. Doc told Marty, we're going to send you back to the future. I have to agree with this 100%, even though it's a great idea. It all makes sense to anybody, so there you go, and even there's a lightning bolt, like Thunder Strike from AC/DC, ladies and gentlemen, so there you go. Next page. We're almost done with this book, but anyway. Inside that time machine, Marty checked the equipment, time circuits on, he said grinning, zap, lightning hits the clock tower, the lightning cracked as it darted towards the cable. The time machine zoomed towards the cable, when the cable touched, zap, zap, anyway. The time machine disappeared in a flash of a light. It all makes sense. So there you go. I don't know what just happened, but you know what? It just saddens me for the lightning, thunder lightning, for the rain style. We're gonna go on to the next page and see what happens. Anyway, success. Moira appeared in his own time, and Order Doc Brown, was right when we left him. It works, the doctor explained. The two friends cheered. Especially that one dog, that's just me. But, great idea as a matter of fact. So, there you go on that and the whole thing. That was his Funko Pop cheering. So, there you go. Last page of the book stating that this. Mario's time traveling adventures were over. Told Doc Brown would later appear in an upgraded time machine from the future. Mario's adventure was just the beginning. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah, I have to agree with this 100%. So, there you go. It makes more difference to anybody, ladies and gentlemen. So, there you go. So that was Back in the Future, Funko Pop Edition, a little golden book release. What I think about this book, I think it was amazing. So far, this book was a success. That was Bedtime Stories, episode number 232. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. The next one's going to be I would just say a brand new episode of Lunchtime. Now, excuse me. I gotta edit those projects and go to bed. Till next time, Sue Jones and Papa So Baby. We can more videos for Sue. Till I say out. See ya.